Hi everyone, my name is Felicia. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys an update on my golden pothos clippings that I propagated probably about a couple months ago at this point. If you guys are familiar with my channel and my content, then you know that I do have a large golden pothos plant, which was about 6 feet in length. I decided to cut it back just because I thought it was a little bit too long for my space, even though I thought it grew so beautifully, but I just decided to cut it back. It was getting a little too long, touching the floor. So I cut it up into several pieces, and I'll insert a link to the video that I shot where I showed you guys how I cut back that plant. So the propagation clippings, they've grown so beautifully over the last several weeks, and the roots have matured so much. And so I was kind of going back and forth deciding if I wanted to take those clippings and turn it into a new individual plant, or if I wanted to take the clippings and place it back into the mother plant. And I decided to go with option B. I'm going to take those clippings and show you how to reinsert your propagation clippings back into the mother plant. The mother plant, I found that it's a bit bald on the top. It's very sparse. And it could be due to, the cold weather months. We just recently shifted out of winter. We're technically in spring, but here in the Northeast, it's like middle to late April, and the weather is still a little cool outside. So it could be because the plant wasn't getting fertilized obviously over the winter and the cooler weather, the plant just got a little bare on the top. So I'm just going to take those clippings, reinsert it at the top to give my plant a more full look, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. I'm also going to make this video a bit of a propagation series, and I'm going to film a part 2, aka I'm not going to change my clothes. I'm going to share with you guys my Ficus elastica taniki. That plant has been through the ringer. When I first bought the plant, it was so beautiful. Last summer, I had it outside. It grew so beautifully and it grew very full. I found out over the winter time, it really took a toll on that plant. So I decided to chop that plant up, and I'm gonna go ahead and propagate that one. If that's something you're interested in seeing, please be sure to check back on my channel where I share with you that video. But let's move on to my golden pothos clippings. Alright, so I wanted to do this as a voiceover because there was a lot going on in the background at the time of me filming this video. So I always like to throw some gloves on whenever I'm repotting plants or, just preparing to get messy in the soil. So this is the golden pothos in question. This is the mother plant. It has grown quite a bit even since I did cut it back recently. And now I'm going to show you what it looks like in the center so you can have a better idea of what I mean when I say that it's kind of bald. You see how all the leaves are kind of growing from one side. So I'm going to work with the cuttings that I have to pretty much evenly distribute them on the other side. Here are those clippings. I've been propagating these in water now for probably about a couple months. The roots have developed so beautifully. I'm taking my time taking it out the jar, out of the bulb, because I don't want to damage them at all. Take a look at that, you guys. That is just so beautiful. So I'm just going to work on separating them because, as you can probably see in the video, it's just a bunch of clippings that I bunched together and put them in one of the bulbs. So I'm carefully, untangling them. And I'm just going to do the same thing with the other bulb that you see here. So I'm going to work on that really quick. Now we're going to get in a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing here. So I'm just trying to find some space within the plant where I want to insert those clippings, and I'm just going to put them in right here where you see me kind of fooling around with the dirt. This dirt, by the way, was so bone dry, and my potting mixture is just regular soil with perlite and in most cases orchid bark. I don't think this mixture here has any orchid bark because I just didn't have any at the time. So I'm just going to go ahead and start to insert the plant. And what I'm doing here is I carefully, put my finger in the dirt to kind of make like a little bit of a hole so I can insert the cuttings here, and I'm just gonna put them in batch by batch. I think I picked up about 4 individual cuttings. I'm just making some room and I'm gonna put them in. now that I've gotten all my cuttings into the pot, I'm going to backfill and add some more soil. What I'm doing is I'm adding the soil and then I'm going to go in with the perlite. Technically, you can just mix it up prior to doing this. It'll probably save you an extra step, but I didn't think to do that at the time. So you're going to see me add the soil, and then once I'm done with that, I'm going to add the perlite, and then I'm just going to mix it with my fingers. If you're curious to know where I purchased this pot, I got this pot at Home Depot, and I believe they still have them available in store in different sizes. Really like this pot. It's a plastic pot. I plant my plants directly into these pots. Typically, I like to use a nursery pot whenever I'm using decorative pots, but this one is really cool because if you can see down at the bottom does detach. So when I water my plants, I detach the bottom in order for the water to easily flow out. And there you have it, all done. Pretty simple. I've officially transferred my golden pothos cuttings back into the mother plant, giving it a much more fuller look. Now, I probably could have used some additional clippings, but that's all I had at the time. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them for me in the comments. If you want some more propagation videos, I'll be happy to share them with you. See you guys in the next one. Bye!